Yes, you'll have to excuse me. I was getting a hunt together for tomorrow. Yes, going to find out where that afternoon flight is because it is dove season. Hi, how are you? This is not the outdoor program. This is not the Go Show. This is another news, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. I am completely on one, so let's just roll. Been one hell of a day. Kicked off with a battle with StubHub. I did not know that if digital transactions don't do what digital transactions do and the time expires on that, that they literally fine you the amount of money you were selling your tickets for. Fine you. Fine. Just charge your account. Dude. Yeah, didn't know that happened. And then parents, I want you to come along with me on this because it is absolutely, and that's an argument for another time, discussion for another time. Everything is being processed. We'll see what happens. We might have to have a conversation about our friends at StubHub. But parents, come with me on this because this just happened moments ago. And I understand the reasoning behind some schools doing this, but I don't think it is enforced the way it should. What's up, Greg? How you doing, bud? I'm kind of ticked off about this. It's called dress coding. If your school does this, it's obviously a school that does not have a uniform. I say we just go to uniforms. I remember when intern Beans went to a school that required a uniform, and it was the greatest thing in the world. Dads, your daughter wakes up and goes through about 8 different outfits because it doesn't feel right. I'm telling you, what eliminates all that? Uniforms. Uniforms gets rid of all of that. So when you have these kids wearing the same damn thing every day and everybody's wearing the same thing, nobody cares. It's fantastic. It really is. But for those schools that don't have those, have uniforms, dress coding is a thing. And in the school that I'm talking about, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but this just happened. And so if you have something that might be described as a dress code violation, and that would definitely be grizz and drag, that would be a dress code violation. You would definitely get dress coded. The dress code would state that you leave campus. Bye. Your learning's disrupted. You are gone for the day. Adios. Come back when you ain't dressing like And I do understand that, and I do understand to an extent because there's some. I mean, I've seen some of these young people, trying to fit 10 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound sack. I get it, but this case was someone that actually took to school today, got dress coded, and got dress coded yesterday. And I didn't understand why she was dress coded yesterday because she looked absolutely adorable. And I am a dad who is pretty kind of eye for the whole you wearing that? Yeah. I went to Mexico and Beans, she came out in her bathing suit, go to the beach. I was like, where the rest of that at? I didn't care. Dad, you're embarrassing me. I'm like, okay, fine, but where's the rest of your bathing suit? I didn't care. She looked adorable. She really did. She's just a kick-ass figure. She is the gym. She's fantastic. Anyway, so today I took this young lady to school and she said, am I going to get dress coded? Do you think? I'm like, you have jean shorts on that show absolutely nothing. You have a Vans t-shirt on, which looks like it would fit intern Nuge. Like it's kind of oversized for you. You look great. You look adorable. You're wearing high tops. You look adorable. Dress coded. Boom. Crying, sobbing. Had to go home. Wouldn't even allow her on campus. The hell. No, go to uniforms then. If you're going to do this to kids, haven't you done enough damage to kids? Literally. School system. Haven't you screwed up our kids enough since 2020? I think you've screwed them up enough. And forget about the whole screw thing, the indoctrination. I'm just talking about how these kids live in fear. And now they live in fear of what they're going to wear. Not only do these kids have to worry about what they're going to wear, that their peers would accept them in what they're wearing. They have to worry about if they're going to abide by some set of rules where they look absolutely not how their peers would accept them. It's wild. Man. So don't worry. Her mama bear go in there with she asked me, should I calm down first? I go, no, you go in there loaded for bear. You go in there, torches, pitchforks, go for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, dress code. I literally just go. I guess I absolutely am blown away. They just cute little jean shorts and a t-shirt. She looked like, I'm from Southern California. She looked like every young girl on the beach that's just walking around like Main Street and shopping and stuff like that. That's exactly what you look like. Any TV show you turn on, straight out of Central Casting. Oh, yeah. God. It takes away. Yeah, right? And it takes it, and it's a great point, Grizz. I think he's talking about the uniforms there when he said that it kind of takes away from, hey, listen, this kid can't afford the designer clothes. Everybody's wearing the same clothes. And I remember that there were, people would just redonate their clothes. I mean, their uniforms to the school when their kid outgrew them, because they're like, why does all the parent have to pay for the stuff if parents can't afford it? Here you go. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exercise before work started. What in the world? Saturn followed the Japanese work camps. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed part of that conversation, Greg. All right, let's get back to it. Wow, we got a lot to talk about. So thanks for letting me do a little venting on both programs today. Fantastic. Funny thing happened here in Phoenix. Funny thing happened. What happens when an exiled cable news host and a born-again British actor combine forces and show up to the Valley? This is what happened.
Bear Grylls.
Look at
Bear
this.
Grylls sort of like appeared in my existence, coming
Look
out
at the
of the shadows, and like I said,
that's Tucker Carlson. Look at the
would
crowd,
you like me to
y'all.
come and baptize you on the 28th of April? And I sort of went, yeah, but I meant no. I would
Look
not.
at this crowd. And we, obviously crowd size is a thing now. So crowd size is what we're looking at, right? And we actually have Kamala Harris, Comrade Harris. Wait till we get into some of this a little bit later. This is her. That's her rally. Look at this. Yeah, those are all. There was over 15 of these buses. These buses, all the same bus, all chartered by the same company, that had to bring in people 200 a clip to see Kamala Harris at her rally to make it look like there is support. So and the funny thing is that the buses were a half hour late for the end of the program. So the people that were stuck at the venue were actually all the people that had been paid to be there. Yeah, that's just, talk about the comedy of it. Oh, look, these are the same bus. Yeah. Look at these. That's for her big rally, all the big support. Look at that, all for the gram. She is a walking, talking version of influencers in the wild. And if you're on the gram, and by the way, thank goodness we're back on Instagram. We're still in our bromance jail on YouTube, but anyway, but we're back on the gram, and so a thing falls influencers in the wild, which is absolutely amazing to me. Influencer in the wild is so much fun because it is. I don't think there's much. And we can get back to Kamala Harris and Tucker Carlson in a minute, but I don't think there's much more pathetic of a man than an Instagram boyfriend. I don't know. It's fun. Next time you're at Disneyland, next time you're like a theme park or something like that, just sit back and watch. Just sit back and watch, and your eye will tune into it. If you know that you're going to see some of that. It is the girl that is just all done up, and she might be doing one of these. Maybe there's a squirrel here, and she wants to do like that. Like, oh, look at the little squirrel behind her, right? She's doing something like that, and there's this dude frantically taking pictures on a big camera or a phone, and then they run to each other and they check, and they do this and they do this and this little thing like this, and then they run back and they start doing the picture again. There is nothing more neutering of a man. Sorry, dude. Turn in your man card. You done. You are done. I'm absolutely, it's so much fun to watch. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's becoming a sport. And y'all know, I know you and I disagree on Disney, and I totally get it. I just grew up there. It's kind of like going home to me. And so I'd love to just sit. There's this place called, it used to be called, I don't know what it's called now. It used to be called Ariel's Grotto in downtown California Adventure. And they had an outdoor open seating bar, full bar, fantastic bar. And they have lobster nachos. You're welcome. So I'd have an IPA, some lobster nachos, and just watch these influencers in the wild. It is so fun to me. Oh my goodness sakes, so much fun. Yes. Okay, let's Rhonda, I want to get to that too. Absolutely. Let's jump in. And again, y'all, if you're new to this program, please jump in the comments. They pop up right over here for me, and we can include you in the show. You also notice the Dem commercials outnumber the Republican one. I'm talking like 3 or 4 to 1. I am a fan of, because I got rid of all the cable stuff. I'm a giant fan of Samsung TV. Like I have a Samsung TV. They have a Samsung TV which got like 300 channels. And these channels are fantastic. They've got like 5 outdoor hunting and fishing channels. They have like a surf channel. They have a pickleball channel. They have a pool channel. They got all these kinds of channels. It's really, really cool. But the commercials are wild. I would say it's today was, and I was watching, what channel was I watching? I was watching one of the outdoor Waypoint channel. So they're allowed to fishing and things like that. And it was probably 3 to 1 Kamala Harris, Ruben Gallego to Trump. Yeah. They do not have a Baywatch channel. Do they really? They have a Baywatch channel? They actually have a BBC Top Gear channel, and that you got me on that. I think those are 3 of the funniest humans to ever walk the earth. The US version of Top Gear is terrible. It's terrible. I'll tell you what's the best is the BBC version of Top Gear. And now that they're on Amazon, can I just tell you guys that story? Would you guys mind? BBC Top Gear. I'm not even into cars. I don't wrench on cars. My F-150 is, I've had it for about 10 years. It's reading 200,000 miles and it's 14 years old. So I'm not like a wrencher on cars. So I love watching the BBC guys from Top Gear because it's entertainment. It's funny. It's well done. It's well produced. Well, Jeremy Clarkson, who might, if you ever hear him say, yes, that's where I get that from. And I ripped that wholesale from him. When I call my daughter, when I call intern Beans, Jeremy Clarkson's picture shows up on her phone because I'm a lot like him. Anyway, he decided to punch his producer hard. They tried to fire him. They ultimately fired the producer, kept Jeremy on because Jeremy Clarkson is the highest paid BBC personality there is. He does 2 shows. He does like their version of Millionaire. He does a lot of game show hosting. He's just a very famous person in the UK. And so the second producer came on. He punched him too. They ended up firing Jeremy Clarkson after the show had been running for like 17 seasons. They fired him. And the other 2 guys left with him. They started selling T-shirts. I have one that says Bros Before Shows. Rad. Then Amazon picked him up. Amazon picked him up and gave him $1 million budget per episode and said, go have fun. They do the craziest, most outlandish stuff. They actually ran a personal tank. They found a personal tank where you just buy a tank. It's yours. They ran it through a wall in the mall in Dubai. I love that show. How the heck did we get on that? Oh, yes, it was Samsung TV. Yes, but the commercials, same. I actually saw a Ruben Gallego commercial in Spanish. He can't speak Spanish. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I did see a Carrie Lake. Let's see. It's hard to watch the commercials. The Carrie Lake chopped up one about oh my, it just. Carrie, I know exactly what you mean by that one, Stephanie. Yes. I'm just like, come on, though. But I think actually the worst to me is the anti-Trump ad that has it basically just links him. It basically says, "Don't believe what you hear. Don't believe the truth. We say that Project 2025 is Trump's plan. It's not. It's a Heritage Foundation piece of garbage." But they say, no. Don't believe what you hear. That belongs solely to Donald Trump. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, the commercials are just absolutely staggering. I don't. But Samsung TV is fantastic. If you have a Samsung TV, look it up. It's free. It's free. I don't watch a lot of TV as it is, and Rondo backed me up on this. I watch MLB like Rondo. We watch the damn baseball. So I watch baseball and then I keep it on those. I do miss, there was a meat eater channel on what's it, D Stream, DirecTV, the streaming DirecTV. Okay, see, Greg knows what's up now. Yes, Jeremy did a demolition derby for RV travel trailers. It was fantastic. Oh, and the stuff they're doing on Amazon, the first 2 seasons are kind of funny, but now they're just doing long form specials. And there's one called Clarkson's Farm where he starts a farm. I just can't with that guy. He's fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Anyway, we are watching one of the biggest, just the most horrific examples of political propaganda in our nation's history. Our nation has not seen this because, as a matter of fact, because of the Smith-Mundt Act, which said that the government cannot propagandize we the people, and it was overturned by Boehner, Pelosi, McConnell, Schumer, and Barack Obama, so that we can propagandize we the people. This is the worst example of it we have seen. And by the way, the Smith-Mundt Act was signed by Truman. So you understand, it's been around a minute. So they said, no, we really want to propagandize our people. And we are now witnessing this noise to the tune of this woman cannot hit the campaign trail without this kind of stuff, without these buses, which are all over the place, just busing people in to her events. And again, they tried to blend in with the crowd. They'll have matching signs, they'll have matching shirts, they'll have matching everything. And we're just witnessing pure propaganda. It's absolutely sad. Very, very sad. Oh, Ronnie, you watching college football too? Yeah, we talked about that. I'm not a college football fan. But let's actually get to something that I saw the other day, which I thought was, oh, sorry about that. Was finally, there's a movie out now. The Sound of Freedom shook a lot of people up, and I think The Sound of Freedom, if you don't know about this, is about child sex trafficking in foreign nations. I think it emboldened filmmakers to expose what's going on here. And I'm going to be very serious with you here. I've talked to several people about the very real industry that is child sex trafficking here in the United States, and they don't believe it's going on. Nah, that's not happening. That's like a Pizzagate thing. That doesn't happen. That was all debunked. There's nearly 100,000 kids, that the Biden-Harris administration has lost. Kids, children, migrants, lost, don't know where they are. We know where they are. I'm not stupid. They're either packing your Cheerios or they're being sold as product. You want to hear something absolutely staggering? Do you know the average cost of buying a child? I'm not playing with you guys here. It's under $200. It's under $200. And that is well after they have been absolutely destroyed for online content. I'm not kidding, peeps. Some of the most disgusting things in the world. Everyone turning a blind eye to it. You went to school with Jim Caviezel? No, you didn't. Did you really? That's rad. Okay, cool. It's something that I have been just mortified about for several years and have been screaming from the rooftops. It is happening. It is real. You know, you see Cindy McCain getting up there all, high and mighty about, Super Bowls in town. There's a lot of prostitution going on. There's actually selling of humans going on. When she says prostitution, that's what she's talking about. There's selling of humans, young humans. These people are the worst of these. And it's now being, I'll put this, there's cracks in the dam. And I'm there with a chisel, y'all, and this movie might do the same thing. CNBC actually had something on it. Check this out. This is actually encouraging news.
You discover as part of this movie, this is a whole underground economy of children.
Yes.
It's horrific.
Oh, like this guy's never heard of it. That's the thing that ticks me off about these clowns. Like, you've never heard of it, bro. Oh, there's an actually, he's clutching his pearls. He's clutching something.
It really is. And that some of it has to do with the policies at the border. And our film isn't political at all. But what really has happened is that a lot of kids came to the border and...
Thank you. You know what, dude? I appreciate you, John. Here's why I appreciate you. Because you said it's not political, but it's about the border. The border, what's happening at the border should not be political. Can I get an amen? It should not be political. These kids are coming across the border and being sold. That shouldn't be political. That shouldn't be Republican, Democrat. That should be that should be universally denounced, fought against, and I don't know, stack whatever else you want.
Suburbans from very poor countries like Guatemala, and the families paid $3,000 to $5,000 per kid, and they thought that these children could have a better life here in the United States. And if you go back and watch your own news stuff, there were tents with hundreds of children, and they were all dropped off there, and we welcome them into the United States.
But we need to take care of them and make sure they're protected, and they're not.
Yeah, the problem is that the foster system does weekly and monthly checks on the children to make sure they're okay. And what happened here...
In a normal foster system.
In a foster system, what happened here is we welcome these children in here, and that sponsor families...
Preach.
Some of the rules were changed. They don't...
Some of the rules were changed. Dude, it's easier to get into ASU. I mean, it's harder to get into ASU than be a sponsor family. Sorry, my Sun Devil brethren. They go like this. And do you have a roof? Yeah, you got a house? An apartment? Whatever? Okay, all right, here. Have a kid. They changed the rules. They eliminated the rules. They eliminated the vetting in this. Oh, my goodness. Let's get him back to it. Here we go.
Need to be a parent or an uncle or anything. It could be anybody.
Yep.
And some of the traffickers suggested the sponsor, and the New York Times article says there's homes in Florida and Texas with 15 to 20 kids all sleeping on the floor, not in school, and 15 passenger vans are picking up kids 15 at a time.
Where are they going?
They're cleaning pig slaughterhouses and doing the whole night shift. And we're allowing this all to happen under our noses here in the greatest country of the world, the United States.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. It's real. I love that this is on CNBC. CNBC doesn't have huge viewership. I get it. And trust me, there's ideologically removed from NBC as you can possibly be. But to at least have this person on and say, let's talk about this. This is real. They're cleaning slaughterhouses, packing Cheerios, doing the overnight jobs. By the way, a lot of those kids that are going to school are doing those jobs overnight and still going to school. And by the way, okay, when we talk about this, as awful and horrific as that is, we talk about the migrants. We want the hardworking. We want the best of them like that. I mean, damn. Those are hardworking kids. Let's take the best care of them in the world and know that they know, whoa, Bob! Bob's had a little to drink, apparently. Bob's coming on to me. This is getting awkward. Yeah, Bob. Bro. Maybe I had a little martini at lunch there, champ. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Come on, bud. Come on. Okay. All right. Come on, Bob. Bob, folk, work with me. Work with me, G. You're not going to work with me. Yeah, Bob gone. All right. There's Bob. We now rejoin our regularly scheduled broadcast. I don't think I can move. Bob's going to go away if I move. It's going to be completely awkward anyway. Holy mackerel. Anyway, take care of these kids. Find them. These are the hardest working, most awesome people that would be like, you know what, dude, I have an opportunity. The kids, The kids have an opportunity to go to get an American education, and they're like, I'm going to take full advantage of that, but I know what I got to do because mom and dad dropped me off at the border and said, now you got to go earn. Okay. I'm going to go earn, and I'm going to go to take advantage of this education that I'm going to get. God bless them. Good Lord. Or how about we just find all of them? And Greg, I think you said 325 unaccompanied minors unaccounted for. I didn't see the total that high, but I'm not going to doubt that. I mean, do you remember at the very beginning of this whole open border policy? Do you remember what we're doing with kids? I think it was the Dallas Convention Center, the San Diego or Long Beach, maybe Long Beach Convention Center. They were housing the kids in there. They're packed. What happened to those kids? And let me tell you something. The sponsors that are actually sponsors aren't the best of these. As evidence, when 50 migrants were sent to Martha's Vineyard and they about lost their minds, they had to call the damn National Guard in. And we don't want these people. Not this riffraff. Send them back once they came. Someone else can handle the problem. I just pay taxes. Yeah. Definitely not the best. God, I tell you this. I love that it's being exposed. Yeah. I would love, Ernesto. I'd love that the border czar would go ahead and answer that. The problem is they've erased the border czar. Because again, we're in 1984, are we not? That we're just, the rations of chocolate. Well, we have to give everyone less rations. Well, this is showing history that we've always given them only this amount of chocolate. We got to erase history and say that Kamala Harris is not the border czar. She was never the border czar. We erased that too. What do you mean border czar has to answer? Who's a border czar? I never appointed a border czar. Staggering. Absolutely staggering. And the thing that just gets me to the core is the fact that we politicize selling children for sex. California had a piece of legislation that they were looking into that would make it basically stiffen the penalties for people that sold kids for sex. Okay? Seems cut and dry. Didn't even make it to a vote. The reason why it didn't make it to a vote? They said it would cost tens of thousands of dollars. California said this. It's going to cost too much money. Cost tens of thousands of dollars a year. They spend how many billions of dollars doing about 100 yards of high-speed rail in 11 years or how long it took? Yeah. It's absolutely crazy that we have politicized the selling of children for sex. Yeah. And that's right, Ron. It kills me too. That people actually believe, no, she was never appointed border czar. No. How about this? Speaking of states that have just gone completely off the rails, Kathy Hochul, Gov, yeah, doing okay? How about this piece of awesomeness? Do you remember this person?
I think, when people say diversity and inclusion, I think everybody agrees, or most people generally agree that it's a good thing, right? But I think right now we also need to bring in the word equity, right? Diversity is when you say that there's, many different types of people with different backgrounds and they're all, invited to the table. Inclusion is when,
wait till you hear what her background is. That's so much fun.
We include all of their ideas. But equity is when we make sure that all of the people who are at the table have equal access to making sure that their ideas and their thoughts are heard. And unfortunately, I think some of the statistics that you quoted is that we don't have that much leadership or representation.
I'm going to say this right after seeing that video. She's one of the high-ranking office members for Governor Kathy Hochul in New York. China, America's being literally handed to China. Period. Oh, Mike, that's racist. You can't say that just because she's Chinese or she looks Chinese. Y'all, she's quite literally a Chinese spy. We found another one. Working in the governor's office of one of the most populated states in our great nation. She's a spy. We have a spy, what was it? Fang Fang, remember, in Swalwell's office. Dianne Feinstein, God, whatever her soul. Dianne Feinstein, kid, God rest her soul. Dianne Feinstein's driver for 30 years was a Chinese spy. We can go on and on with the Chinese spies in our government. Then we can go into the 50,000, I believe. 50,000 military-aged single Chinese men who have been allowed through our southern border. 50,000. Doesn't sound like a lot. 50,000 is a lot. Go to a football stadium. 50,000 is a lot. Then we have China being allowed to buy up as much land as they want around military installations all across the country. We also have China flying a balloon, a spy balloon, which we watched depart from China, fly all the way over our top secret military installations. And then when it finished its mission, we spent $400,000 shooting it down and said mission accomplished. When I saw this news of Kathy Hochul's staffer as a Chinese spy, I was just done. I was just done. They're literally handy. They just don't care anymore. They're all on the take. You look at the Chinese money that went into the Biden family. They're all on the take. Look at the Chinese money in the Obamas. It's no joke. Yeah. This is in Grizz. I think we were screaming and hollering this from the radio, right? Yeah, could have shoot him down. There's enough guns there. Montana, hell, this is John. Fly it over Phoenix. We got you. Hey, fly it over Aurora, Colorado. Tell the Venezuelan gangs it's their rival gang spying on them. But they didn't want to knock it down. Remember, they was going to hurt somebody. Might have hurt somebody. It had the data center on it, the size of a school bus. Then you should have let Kamala Harris in there because I love school buses. But this is what we have right before us, like it's nothing. And it just do, hey, don't worry. Hey, the Olympics. Look, the Olympics. Give them sport and they will never revolt, right? So Kathy Hochul's top staffer is a Chinese spy. Let's get over to Kathy Hochul. Now, before you jump, let's just watch it till the end here. And then we'll have a chat about it. Okay, here we go.
Hi, everyone. Kathy Hochul is reminding everyone it's time to get that COVID shot.
Oh, sweetie.
I know a lot of us want to forget about COVID, but we all know somebody who's contracted it and not feeling good these days. So here's how we prevent it. Just stop by your local drugstore, your pharmacy, your own provider. Get the shot now. Every year you should be thinking about getting that. It doesn't take any time at all.
What's wrong with your eye, girl? Look at her eye all wonky. Right? He's doing this. Go get your COVID shot. Okay. That was funny. I get it. That's actually a fake. Okay. So I saw the original. Her eyes are open, this and that. But the fake I saw was like, that is the most, are you kidding me? Wow. It's a great fake, which just absolutely blows my mind that we are in a spot where you can literally believe jack and squat that you see. Because I saw it and jumped all over it. I was like, oh, this is rad. She's talking about getting her COVID shot and she's doing one of these things. And it's totally safe and effective. And it concerns me. Because from a developed brain, very damaged brain, but it's okay. It's out of love. Underdeveloped brains, like voters from 18 to 24, don't know or haven't been conditioned to see through stuff like this. They have not been conditioned or taught or have the connected brain tissue to go, you know what, this is, I don't know about this. Let me look into this. If it's important, let me look into this. And so I thought, I'm going to look into this because it's too easy. It's too much of a setup. Have you seen the video? And it was just gross to watch. Did you see the video of the guy dancing in a crop top to Beyonce's country song? It looks just like Tim Wells. Looks just like him. And they thought, oh, we've busted him. I'm like, come on. You got to look into that. Like, it's not, they're not, that would never see the light of day if it were true. But we can't trust anything. We can't trust a governor not having a Chinese spy in there. We can't trust her opposition not to put a video together that's making it look like she's having some reaction while she's talking about the COVID vaccine, which, kind of going back a few minutes in the program here, I would be very happy, to see the results of COVID testing and COVID vaccine data. I would love to see that as much as I would love an eradication of this child sex trafficking trade, because I believe that this is the results, the aftermath of the vaccine mandates. I have on good authority by a doctor whose name I cannot spell, but I can say it, Bhattacharya, that we are looking at, if we keep track of those that are vaxxed in the death rates, we're looking at a mass casualty event over time. But I want it exposed. So if this helps, if somebody sees this as real and goes, wow, I wonder if starts looking it up. Like, let me see what kind of data is on these kind of side effects that we weren't told about. And let's look into the side effects we weren't told about. Remember when we were told, this makes it look like I have a little tail coming out of my head. Yeah. Remember we were told that if you took the jab, you couldn't give it. You couldn't spread it. And then we were told by Pfizer, I'm sorry, we weren't told, because our government was all on the take and they were making bazillions of dollars off of it. And they were playing politics. In the UK, Pfizer said, oh, no, we never tested against transmission. We didn't have time. There just wasn't enough time to test against transmission. So we're just told, nope, can't give it. If you get it, you can't give it. Can't do it at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rhonda says she has several friends that have heart problems after getting the vaccine. You just look at those videos that they throw of people just dropping when they got it. And if you think for a second that any of these grandstanding politicians actually got a dose of the jab and not a saline injection, you aren't paying attention. You're not paying attention. That's not even tinfoil hat stuff. That's probable. I would never believe that those, especially in Joe Biden's fragile state, that they would put an experimental vaccine in this way. He got it 3 times. Oh, man. Mm-hmm. Look at the ingredients. How they have everything locked down until 2075. I think it's 2075, 2070 or something like that. When all of the new billionaires are dead and gone. Yeah. But I mean, this Hochul thing, I mean, what are you going to, seriously, what in the world are you going to believe? We actually do have a funny decompression session. Let's just put it this way. The Dems screwed with the wrong Dem. So fantastic. RFK Jr.'s running mate is spending tens of millions of dollars just trolling the Dems right now, and it is fantastic. Yeah, Rhonda, 50 years. Yeah, 50 years is what is what was said. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's jump into Comrade Kamala. What she says here is not only mind-numbing, it's mind-blowing. We now have a forget about hiding it. Forget about saying, no, that was just a Trump thing. We quite literally have a weaponized DOJ, a completely weaponized DOJ. Listen to Comrade Kamala.
Put the Department of Justice of the United States back in the business of justice. We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will
By the way, so let's break this down here very quickly. She says
Civil Rights Division.
Double the Civil Rights Division. What accomplishments have the Civil Rights Division, and what accomplishments have they set forth? You know what? The Civil Rights was a movement, not a division. Civil rights was a cause. And this is a side note before you get back to Kamala here. Just as a side note, and this is just, it is America, so we're very clear. It is America that is responsible for leading the way out of the ills of what was happening globally in almost every country in the world. We were the ones that started to get it right, started to self-correct, started to kind of see the light, so to speak. And we should be proud of that. We shouldn't have a civil rights division that's going to be doubled so we can take down sometime if one race gets involved. Forget it. It just, everything is a hate crime. Yeah, everything's a hate crime. And yes, Colin, the UK is doing it right now. Check us out. Oh, here we go.
Direct law enforcement to counter this extremism.
Okay, extremism. Stop extremism. To go after this extremism. Do you know what extremism is to these people? Anyone who doesn't agree with them. Anyone that doesn't subscribe to this woke ideology is an extremist. She's talking about the DOJ. Law enforcement, go after this extremism. There she goes.
Social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility.
No, they don't.
To help fight against this threat to our democracy.
Says the woman, the threat to our democracy, says the woman who is up there as a candidate without one vote. Does anyone else find the irony in that? By a show of hands, who here has a friend that voted for Kamala? Right. And the online rhetoric is a threat to democracy. Spare me.
And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community. And
those were all applause lines, by the way, not one. Crickets. Crickets. And she's at the NAACP? Oh, man. Okay. Yes. She is the first female president. First female vice president to be never mind. I'm not going to go. Kamala Harris is shaking. I think it was somebody asked here why her voice always shakes. Brendan. Yeah. Because she's lying. Look, I love studying body language. I love studying voice inflections. And if you're studying my body language right now, that is if I move, Bob Ross is going to accost me again. So I'm actually propping his drunk butt up right now with my chair. So don't read my body language. I love reading body language. And I'm very conscious of my own body language. I'm very conscious if I'm closed off. I'm very conscious my legs are crossed. I'm conscious on how I'm holding my arms when people are speaking to me because I want to be engaging and welcoming. There are two things you can tell when people are lying like she is. The voice is shaking and quivering. You're lying. You have no confidence and belief in what you're saying. You have zero. That or you're reading it for the first time, which was what drove Rob and I nuts since Kamala Harris hit the stage. She never pre-read things. She would just read them off a teleprompter and you could tell. So the shakiness in the voice might have a little bit to do with that as well. But then there's a hard swallow that in the middle of what they're saying. You, sir, or ma'am are lying. So there's a couple of things. That's why. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm telling you, Brendan, he is, man. I got to tell you, it's look at that. Hitting the cocktails before noon. Well, actually, maybe he hit it when the show started. I don't know. I can't say. I can't. He's behind me. I don't know what he's got going on back there, man. Yeah, old Bob Ross just doing his thing. Again, maybe his paintings are where he buried the bodies. All right, let's get Comrade Kamala can go away. But one of the craziest things I've seen the campaign let her do, and it is blinding that they would allow her to do this. I'm not kidding, because they're trying their best to make sure that people know she's black, and it's a fraud. It's more propaganda nonsense that they just made up. Her entire world is made up. It's a fictitious work. They let her go hang out with a bunch of black men. I'm not kidding. In a barbershop. Black community, lean in. I got to talk to you. Just because my money is on you. My faith is in you. I know you don't believe in this, right? Right. You are not buying into this nonsense. Please tell me. You're not buying into this nonsense. I believe in you. My money's on you. My money's on the Hispanic community. My money's on independents. My money's on conservatives. We can do this. But black community, you're being insulted. You are being targeted and insulted. And I'm begging. I'm begging you to help your friends see the light. To help them all. Oh, my goodness sakes. Yeah. But they let her do this. And I think this is the video. Tight.
And don't think of blank.
Nope, sorry. That's my boy Rokana. Let me see what I find. Let me see if I got it here. I don't have that. Where did my okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna find it. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm definitely gonna find it here. I might have to put my glasses on, but I'm gonna find it. We're gonna go in. We're going in with the glasses. There she is. All right, we found it. There we go.
And we're talking about specifically something that happened to black people here in America. So we have to be.
Okay, now listen to this guy. He's got this whole Ibram X. Kendi vibe going on here. He's got, the bow tie with the Louis Farrakhan look. Watch her reaction to what he's saying.
Specifically targeting to help those people because we put those people in a position, and everybody knows the history. Yeah. Everybody understands the history.
Everybody knows this. Everybody understands this. Yes. Mm-hmm. Look at her just nodding along like a damn bobblehead.
America, that's right. America, you did this to these people. You should write laws for these people.
Excuse me? Oh, no, he didn't.
Don't group us in with everybody, because everybody didn't happen to everybody. But let's be fair. We playing from behind the 8 ball. We way back there, 400 years back there. We're not asking y'all to give us nothing. We actually write the law. Those of us who are willing and able to do the work, will do the work. That's right.
Do you hear? And she just said, that's right. Y'all, this should be okay, I'll go ahead and give the lesson. Does anybody want to put the word on? Do y'all want to put the word right there on the comments? Go ahead and put the word. What that man just advocated for, and that woman is running for president of the United States, said, yes, that's right. That's why I want you. Come on in. Black community, black men, women, come on. Come on. I'm telling you, that man just advocated for apartheid. He just advocated for apartheid. These bozos that are saying that Israel's an apartheid state. Israel's not an apartheid state. Apartheid is 2 separate laws for 2 groups of people. That's apartheid. That man just said there should be 1 set of laws for black people and 1 set of laws for white people. And Kamala Comrade Harris said, that's right. That's right. So now that you got the Reader's Digest version. If you have that, I want you to keep that loaded up for me, will you? Just keep that loaded up. Because Jim Crow, I mean, that guy's just advocating, and I wouldn't even know what a different set of laws would be. I mean, originally, before we had the laws, it basically just stood by, common decency and citizenship and everybody getting along and not stealing and killing each other and stuff. What in the world would you have a different set of laws? What would that be? And that literally is apartheid, y'all. But keep that nugget in your back pocket when people say, oh, Israel's an apartheid state. No, they actually have rules and laws that just apply to everyone. It's 1 set. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So here's the deal. I'll get into, let's see here. What do we save for tomorrow? Because we're running out of time here. What do we save for tomorrow? All right, we can save Rokana. Rokana is my homie. Rokana and I, by the way, we don't agree ideologically on damn near anything. But Rokana is a man who will sit and have an intelligent conversation with you. And he will bring his points and educated and researched points. He's a very intelligent human being. I would dig him. So we'd hold him talking about the new tax plan for the Dems, or we can talk about Will Ferrell and Netflix completely trolling the right. Let's see here. Let's do Rokana. Let's do Connor. We'll save Will Ferrell on Netflix. We'll save him for tomorrow. Okay, fair. All right, here we go. Rokon, my man.
Tax and unrealized gain is a good thing. I mean, let's say you're an entrepreneur.
Taxing unrealized gain. So what he's talking about is Kamala Harris's nonsensical tax on unrealized gains. This comes from, hi, look, Liz Warren. And the unrealized gains means if I've got a $800,000 house and I paid $200,000 for it, there's $600,000 there in unrealized gains. How am I going to come up with the money to pay that tax bill? 40%? How about a small business? What am I going to do? What am I going to do as a small business when my business valuation pops to the roof and they're like, okay, 40%, sir? Rokana's saying the quiet part out loud. I want you to hear it. Oh, shoot. Here we go.
You create a company. It gets to 100 million or 200 million on paper. Now, if you're taxing that, you're probably going to force that person to sell it. They're probably going to sell it to private equity. Do you really want the entrepreneurs to be forced to sell their companies to larger institutions and to decline in value?
Your party does. Your party genuinely does, Ro. Really?
I don't think that's what you want for a startup ecosystem.
That would be the unintended consequence. If Jeff Bezos wouldn't have to do that. They're going after these very, I think the whole policy is demagoguing to go after these people that they say pay less of a tax rate than their maid does, and they have billions of dollars.
I get why, but this is not the right way to do it. And also 95% of investments in startups fail. And so you're going to disincentivize investment.
That's not true. Ro, that's not true. How about this? 83.6% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Ro didn't come with the facts on that one, and that's a little disappointing. But he usually comes with a level-headed argument. But what he's saying is the quiet part out loud. And I want to flesh this out with you. So you think about that. If I were to have to pay on $400,000, it was $600,000 in my example, 40%, I pay $240,000 in my unrealized gains on my home, my investment into my home. I'm going to have to sell my home. Who's buying up every home in the world right now? Well, at least the United States. Who's buying up every home? BlackRock. Who's funding a lot of these campaigns and these ideas? BlackRock. And don't get me wrong, y'all. Look, BlackRock, just pay attention. Pay attention. BlackRock bought what are the controlling? I think they now have the controlling stake in Ancestry.com. Now they have not only the most real estate in the nation, they have everyone's DNA. Anyway, what could possibly go wrong? Going to those businesses. It's exactly what they want, Rokana. They want somebody to build a business, pay a monster load of taxes on it, and have to sell that business. And have to sell it to private equity, because the private equity is where all the money is coming from for the politicians. You're just announcing the plan. I mean, look what's happening when you bring 10 million undocumented migrants, illegal aliens into this place. Oh, can we not say aliens? Can we say yo? Can we say aliens? Nuge says no. Can we say illegal? Yep, got it. Illegal migrants that come into the town. Coming into our country. The housing market is absolutely absurd. And I want to talk to you tomorrow actually about the housing market too, because an idea that's being floated. How about this? Politicians convincing we the people that selling public lands is the solution to America's housing affordability crisis. I cannot wait to talk to y'all about that tomorrow. I can't wait. Yeah, that's right, Brennan. You didn't build that. Barrio said that. And then we'll get to tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go to Will Ferrell. I almost said Will Smith. Will Ferrell absolutely trolling with Netflix, the right, basically the conservative right. Hold on a second. I need a name, and I had to just find that real quick. That's what I had to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I need to look for. Nicole Shanahan. Y'all know Nicole Shanahan? Nicole Shanahan is a multi-bazillion dairy. She's a successful woman. I'll put it that way. A very intelligent woman. a pretty dang cool woman, and she's RFK Jr.'s running mate. This is where we have our decompression session because the Democrats have done screwed with the wrong Democrat. She is a lifetime Democrat, lifer. She says that after running with RFK Jr., that she regrets almost single-handedly with her checkbook keeping the Senate Democrat, keeping the Senate blue, working with Schumer in the Georgia runoff elections to make sure, and she poured tens of millions of dollars into that to make sure that those went Democrat to Warnock and that little socialist punk. She is, no, this is her RX commercial. This is exactly what it is, Brent. Now, because the Democrats sued her and RFK Jr. in every single state to keep them off the ballot, totally, what, saving democracy. Remember that? We're saving democracy. She's now taking her tens of millions of dollars and putting them into trolling ads for Donald Trump. It's absolutely fantastic. It is too much fun. But I'm going to tell you this. This one is about Trump derangement syndrome. She did a commercial, a awesome commercial. You're about to see it on Trump derangement syndrome. Here's the scary part, how intelligent she is, how connected she is, and how, kind of ears to the ground she is. She claims she's never heard the term Trump derangement syndrome. Anyway, today's decompression session. Enjoy.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing Independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, Independence allows for constructive critical thinking.
I used to hear people on the news say things like,
Donald Trump and the movement he has encouraged are a threat to democracy.
And I instantly believed it. With Independence, I now realize the media is run by the Democrat elite, who are a corrupt oligarchy that censors free speech, silences political opponents, supports forever wars, and abandons democracy by anointing its candidates.
Independence may not be for everyone. If you enjoy being lied to about your president's cognitive abilities, support Orwellian totalitarianism, or are excited about communist fiscal policy, Independence may not be right for you.
No.
Common side effects of Independence may include an awakening of rational thought, successfully identifying propaganda, freedom of choice, loss of hatred, anti-narcissistic behavior, and love of democracy.
I used to blindly hate whoever my party was running against. I didn't care about facts or policy because I was hopelessly indoctrinated. With Independence, I'm much more interested in policies that uphold democracy, and I truly care about the health of our country and its citizens.
Ask your doctor if Independence is right for you, and enjoy your freedoms once again.
God bless you, Nicole. God bless you, Nicole Shanahan, for putting that out there, and just keep going. She's got you got 2 months left of it, so just keep them coming, and you just put them in the right spot. You're smart enough to make it happen, and just oh man, I love this RFK, Nicole. This is right, Craig. This is a great point. It really is if you know your history. Yep, it's absolutely it just. Well played. All right, everybody. I'm going to go take care of my inebriated friend Bob Ross back here. You poor guy. He gone. Thank you all for playing along. I love you guys. Please like this, share it out, and let everybody know what we're doing every single day at every single day at noon right here on In Other News. Have a great afternoon.